All right, all right, all right. We did it. We did it. We got the victory. We got the victory. We get the win. Georgia Southern defeats Georgia State 41-24. And I was not as hyped about this game as I should have been. A little bit down on what's been going on this entire season, especially last week. When we lost the game last week, it kind of took the wind out of my sails, and I wasn't necessarily happy about it. So, with that being said, I looked at this game like, all right, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. And I got to be honest, this was a fun game. This was a really fun game to watch. All things considered, this was a fun game. So I got my hat on. I bought this a while back. Shout out to Southern Exchange. I bought this hat a while back. Let me see if I can cut this light down a little bit so it won't be. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this together. Oh, y'all. All right, that looks a little bit better. It's not as bright. So, yeah. So we did that. We got this out of the way, and it was absolutely fun to watch this game. I gotta admit, it was a fun game to watch. Okay, my audio is good, so that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this game. Let's talk about what's going on here. Georgia Southern defeats Georgia State 41-24, and I'm actually pretty. I'm not gonna say I'm happy that we won, but at the same time, it's a little bittersweet because you really wanted to win last week's game. But hey, you can't really worry about what happened last week. It is what it is, and we just got to keep on pushing the way that where we are right now. Got to take it one game at a time, and just take it what it is. I will say this: I am really impressed. I'm impressed with the way J.C. French played. I think J.C. French played very well today, and I got to give him credit. You know, we give him a lot of flack about how the way he was playing and these past few weeks, pretty much this entire season, and in some cases, since he's been here. But I will say, I got to give it to him. He's done a pretty good job. 210 yards, 85 yards rushing. He kept a lot of drives alive. He kept a lot of drives alive, and that really helped us. And he actually scored a rushing touchdown. So he had 4 total touchdowns. And you know, without his legs, we wouldn't have been where we were at in this game. So a lot of kudos to JC French. Also, I mean, what can you say? What can you say about that guy? What can you say about that guy, Camden Brown? Camden Brown was absolutely awesome in this game. I mean, you look at what he put up. Where's the receiving numbers? These are not. I think these numbers aren't all the way. I'm gonna have to get out of here. These numbers aren't complete. ESPN is behind the times. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, ESPN is behind the times. So all right. There we go. This is correct. Yeah, there we go. Camden Brown, 15 catches for 120. Son, do me a favor. Cut that light on for me real quick. 15 catches for 120. Cut on the big light. The big light. No, the other light. The big light. Yeah, cut that light on. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. 15 catches for 120 yards. 1 touchdown. Rashad Amos. Is that that's not on us. I'm sorry. I take that back. The stats are all over the place. Please forgive me. Receiving, Camden Brown had 3 catches for 48 for 2 touchdowns. My apologies. These stats are weird. So what can you say about Camden Brown, though? The touchdowns that he caught was amazing, especially that last one, 16 yards out. He absolutely Randy Moss is a guy, and it was just amazing to see. J.C. French, like I said, 85 yards rushing. O.J. Arnold also had 74 yards rushing. And I'm sitting here looking like this was a pretty good offensive game. No turnovers. Nobody turned the ball over. And we were able to put up 41 points on the board. You can't ask for more than that, in my opinion. You can't ask for more than that. Defensively, I think we still gave up a lot of plays, but you still held them to 24 points. Defensively, Brendan Harrington, Jacob Ferguson led the team with 6 tackles. Also, Justin Myers had 6 tackles. Dorian Smith had 5. Ja'Cory Brown, that's the guy that I said that was going to be taking the place of Chance Gamble. He had 4 tackles. Tyson had, a lot of people had 4 tackles. And we pretty much was able to hold them off, pretty much that second half. The second half was like a totally different game, to be honest. Totally different game. So let me see if I can pull this up, because ESPN, I like using ESPN for my stats. I love using them because it's just easier to see what's going on. And we'll talk about the stats and the box score and all the other good stuff. Let's see. Okay, this is legit. All right, let me pull this up so we can talk about this. Share the screen. Once again, let's see. All right, so here we are. I don't want to do that. All right, here we go. 41-24. That's the final box score. You can see it right here with the numbers on the box score. The second half, we only held them to 7 points. We scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. Scored 28 points in the second half. So once again, Georgia Southern is showing that they could be a second half team. And look, it is what it is. Will that get you far? I don't think so. You gotta be in play. You gotta play at least 3 out of 4 quarters this dominant. At least 3 out of the 4. At the very minimum, 3 out of the 4. You can't wait till halftime to realize, oh yeah, we're down and we actually need to be playing a football game. Let's get into the game. And that's what happened. They get into the game and now they just, shut this team down basically. That touchdown that they had, I want to look at this play-by-play, scoring plays. Let me see that play, the last touchdown Georgia State had. The last touchdown they had was right here. It was a 3-yard run. It was a 10-play drive. But after that, it was pretty much a wrap. The fourth quarter, you get nada. And I give them credit for that. Like I said, all things considered, I can't really rah-rah and be too happy about this game because of how the season is going. But I will say this was a fun game to watch. This was your typical rivalry game. It was your typical rivalry game, and it's not much else you can ask for, honestly. It is what it is. J.C. French was 17-25, very efficient. 17-25, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns. He kept the game alive with his legs. 85 yards rushing. He was our leading rusher as well. So you got to give it up to J.C. French. I got to give it to him. He was clearly the player of the game. You could say, Camden Brown did his thing too, but when you look at the total body of work in this game, it was J.C. French. J.C. French actually showed that, he could be the quarterback we thought he would be. Now, little too late. Yeah. Yeah. But I will say that this game was a good game to watch. It was fun to watch, and I actually enjoyed watching this game. I can't sit here and lie and say, all right, yeah, it's cool that we won and it's whatever. Maybe the season is still a lost cause to a lot of people. You're 1-2 in the Sun Belt. Look like JMU's about to run away with this entire East Conference. The East side of this conference. And you're just sitting there holding the bag thinking, dang, if we would have just, tried to hold tight, we would have been all right. But you're sitting here at 1-2 in the Sun Belt, still trying to get back to 500 on the season. You got to go to Arkansas. But looking at what you got here, if you continue to play like this, you'll probably be all right. Because even though that we were down at the half, it wasn't that bad as we saw in the previous games. You saw a team that actually wanted to play a football game. They played against their rivals. They played pretty tough. They played strong. And even though they were down in this game, they really found a way to stay in this game and finish this game. And with all things considered, you can't ask for more than that. I'm actually happy that that's the way it played out. Could it be better? Yes, I think it could have been much better, but as far as this one particular game, this is probably the best game they played all season. Even against Maine, when we blew Maine out, we did turn the ball over against Maine. We had no turnovers in this game. 0 turnovers in this game. We were able to get, we were able to get a turnover. We got a fumble recovery earlier in the game. So, Lane Water, he fumbled the ball off of a hit, and we ended up recovering that fumble. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. We weren't able to really get the quarterback down on the ground, which that's kind of disappointing. But then again, when you look at all these tackles for loss, 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 3, 4 tackles for loss. I mean, it's not much we can sit here and be like, we're kind of down on ourselves about this game. I really believe that this was a really solid game overall, and I think that Georgia Southern, could they build off of this? I don't know. I mean, you got to go to Arkansas and you got to play that game. So I don't know how that's going to play out when you get there. I mean, you just don't know what team you're going to get. You kind of know, and it's mostly bad than good. But when you really look at this game, it's like, I don't know if Georgia Southern is going to continue to play like this. I don't know. Will they? I hope so. Because even if they play like this, you got a shot. Especially if they play like they play in the second half, you could beat anybody. I mean, they played really good against Southern Miss in the second half. And in this game, you played very well against Georgia State in the second half. I mean, what? Let me see if I can pull this up. I want to know, what was it like then? Yes, son. What game is missing? Is it missing? It's not in there? You don't see the case? It's a white case. Hold on, I'm trying to find something else out, y'all. Hold on. It should be over there. It is. It should be in white and blue. It should say sunshine, white and blue. Yeah. All right. So when you look at the second half of the Southern Miss game, we outscored. We scored 28 points in that second half. So for the last second halves, we've outscored our opponents 56, 56 to 17. 56 to 17 in the second half of the last two games. You need to play like that in every single game, in my opinion. Every single game you need to play like that you played like in the second half. You do that, you can probably win the rest of your games for the rest of the season, and that will actually put us at 8-4. But will that happen? Yeah, you know what I mean? You just don't know. So you score for 28 points in the second half of the Southern Miss game. You scored 28 points in the second half of the Georgia State game. And you this is how you're supposed to play ball. This is how you're supposed to play. So I just don't know where we're going to go with this. I do believe that Georgia Southern has the tools. They have the team to beat the rest of their schedule. You saw Appalachian State just go down. You saw, the Chanticleers look okay against App State, but they could be had. Old Dominion might be your toughest game. Going forward. So if you play like this, you can go up against anybody. But shout out to this team, man. Shout out to them. They did a fairly solid job, all things considered. OJ Arnold had the most receiving catches. I mean, a couple of those were screens. But Camden Brown was the receiver of the night. I mean, the catches that he made were great. Dalen Cobb, he did pretty good. Marcus Sanders had his moments too. But at the end of the day, honestly, it was about J.C. French. J.C. French had a great game. He had 210 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran for 85 yards, and had a touchdown. You can't ask for more than that. Now, I will give Cameron Brown his credit, not Camden, but Camden, the quarterback for Georgia State. He threw for 280 and ran for 120. I mean, you can't ask for more than that out of your quarterback, but they came up short. They basically got manhandled in the second half. So with that being said, kudos to Georgia Southern. You're 3-4 in the season. Can you make it 4-4 next week? You still got something to play for. You beat one of your rivals. You still got another rival coming up. and you got a chance to be bowl eligible. That's not what we wanted in the beginning of the season. It's not what I wanted, but you still got something to play for. And I'm pretty sure the coaches, I'm pretty sure that the players are happy, and I'm pretty sure a good bit of fans are happy tonight from this game. This was actually a fun game to watch. All things considered, no matter how bad this season went, this was a fun game to watch. So, yeah, I don't have else much to say. I don't see anybody in the chat talking, so that's fine. I don't, nobody's here to really give me feedback like they did last week. I'm pretty sure people watch this back on the they'll watch it back on the replay or whatever. And but I appreciate everybody who's here, the ones who are here so far. And we're going to get up out of here, man. Well, we got the Falcons tomorrow night. We're going to be watching them. Hopefully they go to San Francisco and show off that defense, and hopefully they come back with the win. And this would be a great weekend overall. So I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all enjoy yourself. Y'all have a good night. It is almost 11 o'clock. I'm going to chill out. All right, y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.